Good evening, class.
Good evening.
I hope everybody's day is going well.
Yes, ma'am.
Has anybody in here ever experienced ADHD?
I have.
As you can see, I don't see any women raise their hand, and that is exactly why today I will be informing you about ADHD in women. Overly talkative, multitasking, and overly shopping. These things are often overlooked because they are known as things that women just do. So, many may be surprised when I say that these are symptoms of ADHD. Only about 4.9% women a year will be diagnosed. Males are 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with ADHD. ADHD is often missed when diagnosing women because people should be informed and educated about it. ADHD is mostly missed when diagnosing women because people are not informed and educated about how to spot it. First, let's start with the fact that men are 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with ADHD. As stated previously, in the past, society was taught to think that ADHD was just something found in men. But as research began to surface, they have realized that women are equally as affected. Only 4.9% of women will be diagnosed with ADHD. This is not because women are less likely to have ADHD, this is because they are being misdiagnosed frequently. Kathleen Nadeau, PhD, states that girls experience significant struggles that are often overlooked because their ADHD symptoms bear little resemblance to those of boys. This is one of the many reasons why women are being brushed aside as just chatty because people have little to no knowledge to what the symptoms for women with ADHD may look like. Doctors are missing signs because the normal criterion for ADHD is geared towards symptoms of a male. When looking for ADHD, there are 3 types: attentive, hyperactive, or a combination of both. Inattentive ADHD is described as having trouble paying attention to little things. Hyperactivity is also known as impulsive behavior. Next, let's talk about how to spot ADHD in women. Usually, trying to diagnose women with ADHD takes a little bit more observation than of a male. Women who have ADHD are more prone to self-doubt. They believe that nothing they do is good enough and will never be. The second common symptom will be things like exhaustion and low self-esteem. I know what you're thinking. This is college. Everybody has low self-esteem. But when looking for ADHD symptoms, the woman may be doing something that requires little to no physical exertion and may still be exhausted. These symptoms are usually missed because in men, symptoms like fidgety and other side of the spectrum, women experience symptoms like finding it hard to focus and remember things. Being aware and knowing these symptoms can help others when trying to determine if a woman has ADHD or not. Now that we have talked about why women are less likely to be diagnosed in common symptoms in women with ADHD, we can now move on to the types of treatment for women with ADHD. You may think ultimate answer to treating ADHD would be medication, but this is far from the truth. The first treatment I want to talk to you about is regular exercise. Exercising helps release the brain's dopamine and serotonin levels. These levels go hand in hand with helping the brain focus on paying attention. Exercise is treated like medication for ADHD. You would be surprised to hear that this is a very good alternative for medication and does not have any side effects. The next treatment, which I think we would all be happy to hear about, would be sleep. Sleep is a healer of all things, and in this case, it is very beneficial for someone with ADHD. Not getting enough sleep can ultimately make your ADHD worse, so this is why having a great sleep schedule can help you reduce the symptoms of ADHD. The third and final treatment I will be talking to you about today would be the importance of a proper meal. ADHD can cause you to have impulsiveness and poor planning, which leads to a not so great diet. Getting the nutrients and vitamins you need in your daily meal can help you focus better. This also helps individuals with ADHD because it helps them plan their meals and use this to stay on track. In conclusion, I have talked about ADHD in women, why they are less likely to be diagnosed, how to spot ADHD in women, and the types of treatment for women with ADHD. Nevertheless, ADHD in women is very manageable if given the right treatment and the right diagnosis. ADHD is not a life-threatening, but it can be hard at times. Now that scientists are taking more notice, so women with ADHD and doing research to figure out how to diagnose them, women can finally get the treatment that they need. ADHD is often missed when diagnosing women because people are not informed and educated on how to spot it. With the proper knowledge, there will probably be more diagnoses for women in the future. As Laura Holmes, a woman diagnosed with ADHD, once said, "Give yourself credit for what you're doing right. Build on strengths you have identified. For every weakness you patch up, go out of your way to find 5 strengths." Maybe that was 5